League Rugby returns to the home of the defending champions, the Seattle Seawolves, as they lock horns with San Diego, with both sides looking to secure a top 4 spot to close out Week 10. A very good afternoon. Welcome to Starfire Stadium. Sold out yet again. Dan Powell with you alongside former USA Eagle Kevin Swearin. And Kev, we've got the #1 ranked defense in San Diego coming in here, taking on the #3 ranked offense in Seattle. They say styles make fights. Something's got to give tonight. What do you make of this one?
It's going to be an epic battle, Dan. I'm looking forward to this one. Both teams built around defense, but it's their attack that I'm really looking forward to seeing. Strength, power, speed, all across the board. It doesn't matter if it's the back rows, the back line, or that front row. It's going to be an epic one.
In the corresponding match last year, the headline was the scrum. 3 penalty tries broke the Legion that day as Seattle punished them for 80 full minutes, time and time again. In fact, it forced San Diego to go out and sign, in my opinion, the player of the year so far for Major League Rugby, the big bearded bushranger from Tamworth, Australia, Paddy Ryan. 7 consecutive Team of the Week nominations for the former Australian Wallaby, and now arguably the best scrum in the MLR belongs to the Legion. And the reason is that man up front and his influence over the set piece. And he was able to catch up with our very own Jessica McIntyre earlier today.
Paddy Ryan was a huge difference maker in that matchup in Week 2, and I'm standing alongside him now. Paddy, you were able to come away with the win in the first meetup between these two teams. How do you come into a hostile environment like Seattle and win another one?
I think the focus for us will be doing our own jobs as a team this week, making sure we all contribute to execute the game plan that Rob Hoadley set for us. But I wouldn't consider this environment a hostile one. I think it's just more a testament to the rapid rise of rugby in the USA, and I think Seattle's doing a great job of that. This is a great facility. There's a lot of people out here enjoying everything rugby has to offer, and I hope it's a good game for everyone to enjoy.
And for the Seawolves, their last outing, a victory down in Austin, Texas. And Kev, it all came from the set piece, in particular, that dominant scrum.
Yeah, Dan, it was a close one 2 weeks ago down in Austin, but it was the scrum that got him to the finish line. Ricard Hanting, a.k.a. Ricky, clearing over the line, 2 tries to his name. It was a great win for Seattle.
And the second man in tonight's all-Aussie front row battle is down on the field now with Jessica McIntyre.
The last time these two teams faced off, a tenacious battle back and forth all throughout the game. I'm standing by with Tim Metcher. Now, Tim, a lot of focus on the scrum in the first game in Week 2. What have you guys done to prepare in the bye week for this rematch?
First thing was first, we had a couple of weeks off, so to get our bodies and our minds right, so a bit of time off and together socially as a team. Then we've had a good 8 days of preparation, and in that was 2 strong forward-dominated sessions tearing into each other to get prepared for today.
And as we take a look at the standings after this weekend's matches, they look a little like this. Just 3 points separating these sides coming into tonight's game, with both having an opportunity to improve their positions with a win here. Well, folks, we are about 5 minutes away from kickoff here in Seattle. Will the Seawolves find a happy hunting ground yet again, or does the Legion Empire rise to glory? We'll find out after the break.
please. The words of the Special Olympics athletes' oath emphasize the importance.
Major League Rugby and the Seattle Seawolves are brought to you by Virginia Mason Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, exclusive medical provider of the Seattle Seawolves. Discover more at virginiamason.org/ortho. Virginia Mason, be remarkable. Bigu is proud to support the Seattle Seawolves in 2018 Major League Rugby champions. Bigu, you own it. Ivar's Seafood. It's the perfect match. Ivar's Restaurant has been serving up award-winning seafood since 1938. Stop by Ivar's for Seattle's original seafood. And welcome back to a record-breaking attendance here at Starfire Stadium. They have smashed the previous record attendance this week, and no surprise when you think about the magnitude of what lies in front here. And Kev, talk us through this home side that will take on San Diego today.
Yeah, Dan, looking forward to this one. They've got a big, powerful group of forwards here. They're known for their back row. Ricard Hantig, Eric Deschel, but Brad Tucker's coming in at lock. He's the man of all skills. And then we got the back line, one of the most dynamic back lines, known mostly for their flair last year, scoring tries from anywhere, but the pairing of Shalom Suliula and William Vasilika will bring some structure. Those two haven't been together for a few weeks now.
As we take a look at the Legion, just one change in the pack as Devon Short is rested. They welcome back Lou Stanfield from a week off. No surprises, 73 tackles, averaging 12.1 a game. Big Stanfield, he will be appreciated. And in the back line, the return of Ryan Mattias. Make no mistake, folks, he is an absolute match winner. Only 2 games this season. He comes back from a long layoff. As we take a look at our referee from Wales, Elvin Williams. He will have charge of the match today here. Seattle, San Diego. It'll be the Seawolves kicking off on the right of your screen. The Legion to receive, wearing all white here this evening. Week 10 of Major League Rugby. It comes to a close right here in Seattle off the boot of Ben Seamer. We are underway as Seamer drives this one into the 22 off the Legion. And Mattias, well, no better way to get back. And, well, what a welcome back it is for Mattias too, as Khalifi drives the winger into the ground here at Starfire.
Use it!
Augsburg up the back, slowly under pressure there from Tucker. Will find the sideline. And Kevin, just the start you're looking for Richie Walker and his Chargers. What a smashing tackle from Khalifi.
We're going to see many more of those this game, I know it. And yeah, both teams are fired up. We saw it in the warm-up, Dan. You know, not the greatest clearing kick right there from San Diego, so they would have wanted a little more meters from that kick. But here you go, Seattle with the first line out of the game.
Sia into Tucker, comes down to JP Smith. Seamer finds Bert Combs inside under the pressure. And Smith plays that ball in an offside position, an early penalty here. And after that poor clearing kick, Kevin, they have the chance to piggyback their way out of their own end here on this penalty.
So great start, big hit, you know, not a great kick, and you want to take that first line out and keep a few phases, you know, put some pressure on San Diego, but they turn it over pretty quick, and San Diego relieves the pressure with their penalty clearing kick.
Line's yours, Seattle.
First line out to the Legion. And one thing to watch, Kev, is Vera Malua moves from the wing to flanker. Not unheard of in the modern game, but surprising nonetheless, as the 7 superstar still trying to find his place in this Legion outfit.
Oh, he's a big man, powerful man, so he can fit almost anywhere.
Fair competition.
Good competition at the line-outs. Manahera can't handle, and now the Seawolves will have this just short of the halfway line. There's Duchel.
Get out there.
As Gege gets up quickly for the Legion to shut him down as they come now. Mecha, Hutting, looking for quick hands out there. The South African number 8.
Thank you.
With the Seawolves, though. As Smith steps in. No No advantage coming
High
the way
tackle,
of
6
Seattle, so
wide.
we'll come back for a high tackle.
You're gonna want to slow it down. It's been almost 2 minutes with William Rasalika out, down on the floor here, but he's shaking it off. He's a tough man. We've played a lot of rugby together, he and I, and he just plays the game every minute by minute, second by second. So he'll be back and up and running pretty quick here.
Cheers, mate.
Seems to have made a full recovery, Kev, former teammate. As we take a look at Ben Seamer there,
Bigger gap, please.
young fly half. A lot of expectations on his shoulders in the Pacific Northwest, young Seamer. Not surprisingly, when he takes the reins of the defending champions, and that's him with the ball right now, going to the line and picking up Suniula to Rasalika. Rasalika spills that one, maybe not recovered yet. Here comes the counter-attack. Kearns couldn't handle under the pressure from Tiberio out here.
So maybe a little nerves, maybe a little too much excitement, right? We don't want to
First
get
knock on Seattle.
overly pumped up,
San
to
Diego.
start the game sometimes, but you get into that mode. This crowd is huge. They're cheering their teams on. So, that's 5 turnovers. Five turnovers, kind of back to back to back here. So maybe these two teams need to settle down a little bit and just take a couple deep breaths.
Okay, please.
Early nerves here, week 10, Major League Rugby. And we are really and truly into the grind of the
Marks
season
here,
now,
let's both
Kev.
go to the left,
We're
please.
past the point of the length of last season, and now you see the war of attrition begin.
I need
These
your head in,
sides,
8, please, 8.
the grind
I'll
of the
head in
season.
for you as well,
You played
please.
in France, you understand, you played a lot of games in European rugby.
Head in, please,
It's
8.
a new concept
Head
for
in.
USA for domestic rugby
Okay.
union here, is to
Nice
have this
distance,
long
please.
season. So the players, it's going to be very tough physically and mentally for them.
Yeah, it's the physical, the mental part is, getting over the physical part, right? And the physical challenges of the game week in, week out. Fortunately, the teams have 2 bye weeks, to kind of give them a
Heads
little
in,
more
8.
rest. But
Crouch.
yeah, they really need to
Bind.
dig deep, and it's really about
Set.
player management.
Stable.
How the teams manage players and give them rest, even though they are still healthy.
Augsburger in, finds Peterson, Peterson to Teo. It's a combination that Legion fans are happy to see back together. Augsburger finds Manahera.
Tackle release.
Big
Thank
number
you.
8 from New Zealand, Manahera. A welcome addition to this pack for the Legion. Now Pithalitti. Peterson goes high.
Go, Paddy, go.
Looking to drop this just outside the 22 into the San. Wuching. Well, a man who knows Seattle all too well, Sam Wuching. What a take there from the number 7. And he gives the opportunity to the Legion to get first points as they push into the 10-metre line here of the Seawolves. Stanfield plays out the back. Quick hands Manahera, even quicker to Duplessis. It's a try-saving tackle there. A high tackle nonetheless, and now a shot at goal, perhaps Kevin Swirl right in front of the post.
Yeah, I think you take the 3 points here,
you got
but
back up to
you
your
never
feet and
know with
tackle
San
is
Diego.
complete.
They fancy their lineouts and their set piece, so they could kick it to touch. But
High tackle number 12.
why don't we check out this replay, Dan? It was a beautiful kick, perfect placement right outside the 22, so the player can't call the mark. And Sam Wuching up in the air, athletically taking that. What a challenge. Ben Seamer, down on the ground for a few moments, but back in the lineup. So, yeah, great start, great placement, insanely perfect placement by Peterson there.
Well, Seamer has absolutely nothing going for him there. He's looking up into the sun with an absolute giant of a man in Sam Wuching charging down at him. As San Diego, no thoughts of taking 3 points. They set this maul 5 metres out from the line.
1 stop 9.
And if you remember, folks, it was almost 12 months ago to the day that San Diego travelled up the highway here and
Don't
got
change
absolutely
out.
destroyed by the Seawolves. There are a few players on that roster as well, over the line, waiting for the call. The call is good for the Legion. There's the first points. It's 5 for San Diego.
Dan, you feel it right here. They're trying to make a statement. San Diego's coming in here. They could have taken 3 points, played it safe, playing away. But no, they went for the line out. They backed their lineouts. We saw them in warm-ups with the maul, and they're being aggressive. San Diego wants to put the points on the board. That also goes to show, they respect what Seattle's got going on with their second half dominance, coming back in games. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Seattle can recover here, which, we think they can. But San Diego coming in, starting off with a 5-pointer first 7 minutes.
And Now the most accurate kicker in Major League Rugby, Joe Peterson. Locally, the Seahawks just went out and signed Jason Myers, their new kicker. Had a great season on the way to his Pro Bowl last year, so all the fans tuning in on Root Sports will know about him. I don't want to jinx Peterson, but I haven't jinxed Peterson right through the post. If it doesn't work out with Myers, let me tell you, Seahawks fans, you might have a kicker right there in Joe Peterson. 7 points to 0. It's the Legion in control here early on. Kev, talk us about what Seattle need to do here today to get the win.
Yeah, Dan, today they need to win their set pieces. Lineouts have been a little bit frantic. They have to stymie Joe Peterson. He's their playmaker. You can't stop him. He's too good, but you gotta slow him down a little bit. And then, of course, bring back the flair.
Okay, roll clear.
We need to watch Seattle just take turnovers and attack. You know, they've put a lot of structures in place lately, but they can't lose the flair that they've been, scoring a lot of tries with last season and this season.
It was one of their hallmarks of 2018, Kevin. It was the counter-attack from the Seattle Seawolves. And Matt Turner on the bench today is usually the chief engineer in that.
And so we'll see him probably in the second
Space
half
in the back, please.
and inject some pace and see if they can bring that back, once he's on the field.
Smith finds Seema, short to Duchelle, and
Backwards.
he is absolutely belted by Wuching. Could have been a little knock on there against San Diego. Nonetheless, comes back the way at the Seawolves, and now they attack with Rusalika. Tries to shrug off Audsley, the St. Mary's product, though. He's up to it. Big tackle comes in there.
Stand up,
Driving
fellas.
tackle from the Legion. Their line speed outstanding early on as Paulson. He ran into a white wall of jerseys. Now Seema, he's crunched as well. Out to Bert Coombs now on that touch line. Near touchline there as he tries to get away. See you now. Another run from the South African. Seema. Tucker, quick hands at the back. They've got numbers here. Rusalika, Tiberio, fullback. Chimes in to the beast, Duchelle. Duplessis.
Advantage off feet.
Duplessis, number one tackle maker for the Legion this season so far, the inside centre. Kick goes across. Nessa Gege. Great take there. No advantage, though, will come all the way back. So take a look at the keys to victory today for San Diego. Well,
White
Kevin, we talked about it pre-game. It's all about the scrum, isn't it? They were just absolutely destroyed here. They've turned things around so far, but I'm sure the scars that haunt them from the last game here need to be eradicated. Kick tactically, no one does that better than Peterson, but that plays into your flair, right? The counter-attack from Seattle is outstanding. And they've done that very well so far. With no Turner, Seema seems to be sliding back into that fullback role defensively. And Pete, talk us through this rugby for rookies, for new fans tuning in.
Yeah, 15 players on each side, 8 reserves, so you can get subbed on, but once you're off, you're off. Got to pass the ball backwards.
Advantage early on the lifter.
And you can kick the ball forwards. As we watch a penalty from San Diego, back to back here.
Just the opening that the Seawolves were looking for here. Looking to hit back with a try of their own. No surprise, Seema goes straight to that corner.
Yeah, early on the lifter.
I love this, Dan. The pace is set for the game.
Early on the lifter.
Teams aren't going to be taking the easy 3. They're going for the 5-pointers, the 7-point, scores, and they're taking it to each other early on.
Look at this, Maul is set, looking to replicate what the Legion have done already. And turned over by San Diego. Well, first the Maul that led to the try. And now this, early wins here for this Legion forward pack.
I'm feeling the energy from San Diego is, at a different level right now than Seattle. You can see it. The excitement, the energy. They've shut this crowd down. Sellout crowd, 500 plus standing room, and the Seawolves can't use it for their benefit right now. So they need to turn the switch on. Seattle does, and start to at least match what San Diego's got going on.
Yeah, incredible crowd. I'm actually watching people still walking into the ground.
Crouch.
Here. Already 4,000.
Bind.
In excess of 4,000
Set.
being told.
Hold.
Already here. And more making their way in. And,
Use it.
Seattle has turned it on too. Great day for rugby here. Perfect conditions as Peterson clears this ball up towards the 40-metre line over the head of Brock Staller. He was named at fullback, but it looks like a late change as he is shifted back to that right wing where he does prefer, and Tiberio wearing the 15 at fullback for the Seawolves.
Yeah, you'll see them moving the back three around a little, Dan. So on defense, they put Ben Seaman back at fullback, and Sequoia Burke-Coombs is coming in to play defense at 10.
And Suniula there out the back play, looking for options inside and out. Smith goes quickly, or a little bit of miscommunication between the forwards there, and Paulson and Duchel. Tucker, quick hand, Seema, flat. Zia. Again, the line speed of the Legion. Outstanding. Smith recognises that and looks for the sanctuary to the sideline. Great kick. Teo, though, will counter. Probably one of the best counter-attackers in Major League Rugby is this man with the ball right now, Mikey Teo. One to beat. And Seema brings him down at the halfway line. He punishes the Seawolves on that counter-attack. And now it's the Legion with a chance to put some pressure on here. Piffoliti tucks it under the wing, goes up towards the 40. Peterson, Audsley, dummy, Audsley can't get through. Good defence from Hutting there, shut down the centre. As Stanfill, he continues down this far touchline.
Touch.
Good kick from Augsburger. Chase just Manahera, though. Seamer will have time inside his 22. Finds open pastures. Good option there from Seamer. He had a tight angle down the sideline. It will trickle on into the in-goal, though. And looks like there may have been a knock-on from Kearns in the in-goals. So kept the difference there. He doesn't feel that we come back for the scrum as opposed to a 22-metre restart. Tell the fans a little bit about why that is.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake, unfortunately, for San Diego. If that player picks up the ball and just touches it down, we're doing a 22-meter dropout. So the San Diego's going to come up to the 22 and kick it, and they'll be outside their territory. But instead, he knocks it on, it dribbles forward, it comes off of him forward, and we have a scrum to Seattle. So a huge mistake. Puts us into our narrative of the entire match. Scrum time. Let's see what happens here. 5-meter scrum for Seattle.
Off the middle. That's the middle, okay?
And this is their best attacking. This is their best attacking placement for the game so far, and they really need to capitalize on this one.
Yeah, this is where they've made their money.
Crouch.
Seattle, it is a scrum, especially in this part of the field.
Set.
That battle up front, Khalifi versus Paddy Ryan. Keep an eye on that one. Great platform as Suniula runs into Peterson.
Scrum advantage.
And a very warm welcome to our viewers on Root Sports tuning in after the Mariners game. You've joined an absolute ripper of a game as San Diego are on the run. What a time to join. Mattias down this right sideline. One to beat. Mattias cannot beat the sideline as he's bundled into touch there. And 7 points to 0. It's the Legion over Seattle. We have an absolute ripper of a game going on just 15 minutes into the first half.
The fans at home have to recognize Brad Tucker from the other side of the field. So you have San Diego who breaks away for a long-range possible try from inside their end goal. And instead of kicking, boom, Nate Osberger takes off, goes almost 90 after a couple passes, and Brad Tucker saves the try for him, their number 4.
Yeah, big engine, over 100 tackles already on the season, Brad Tucker. I believe only Ben Mitchell from Austin has more. There's Duchel. Wow, look at this swarming defense from the Legion. Taken back into his own in goal. It'll be a 5-meter scrum for the Legion. And now a chance, Kevin, for them to turn those screws, as we saw Seattle try to do just moments ago.
So we're going to take a look at the replay here where Nate Osberger takes it out of his end goal. Mattias all the way down. He beats his opposite number, but it's Brad Tucker, number 5, coming from all the way across the field to prevent that try. However, after a couple phases from Seattle, it's going to be San Diego's 5-meter scrum just on the right side of the field. And this is a really nice attacking platform for them.
What about the engine on Tucker? 6'5", 255 pounds, running down a genuine speedster, 197-pound Mattias. Incredible stuff there.
Dan, why do you think I picked him as my key player to watch today?
I thought he slipped a 20 in your back pocket. I saw it on the field, Kevin.
Well, he paid me too, but that was a beautiful, beautiful try saver. But will it be for naught here as San Diego prepares for their scrum? Big, powerful scrum. The first scrum was on the exact opposite end of the field, 5 meters out, and they held their own. Both teams did. So it was a very neutral battle. Nice platform. See if San Diego can get a little push here. It's an interesting spot too, Dan, because typically you're going to pick and go right off a scrum, but there's not a lot of space there, so they will likely come out towards their back line. And so you're going to have extra time for Seattle's defense to come up into their face. So they have to attack quickly. You only have time for maybe 2 passes unless you pull it back really deep. So we'll see what happens here with their back line. Looks like they're going to come off short.
Use it or reset.
Very neutral thus far, Kevin, as this scrum. Doesn't go anywhere. We'll reset the scrum.
We're both short in the arm. We collapse. Same ball.
Well, they're going for it,
Yeah, I
Dan.
need you both longer, please.
San Diego said, we're gonna flip the script. We're coming at you. Let's see what you got. So I feel like they took a step or 2 forward on that one, and they're going to come right back at them, to either get the penalty or the pushover try. This is one of those moments where the back line's like, I want it, give me the ball. And the forward is saying, no chance. We're keeping this in tight.
Not surprisingly,
Use it stationary.
Have a look at that.
That was
Low.
a beautiful scrum.
Peterson looks to chink through Augsburger. Menahera around the corner. Looking for another try to add to his tally for 2019. Wuching. What a homecoming it would be for the former University of Washington Husky.
The post is a try line.
Oh, the post is a try line, you hear Williams say, and he's 100% correct. It's a try for the Legion. We'll see if we can get who it is. It's pats on the back for Stanfield, it looks like. There's the veteran. He adds 5 points to his tally for the season.
Dan, that was a sneaky little try. So the pad of the post is actually the try line, even though it's a few inches in front of the try line. So if you can touch the ball to the corner of the pad, try time. And Lou Stanfield brings in his, 20 years of rugby playing to sneak one in right there. And what a try it was for San Diego setting it up before that.
Conversion is successful. We'll take a short break. The score, 14 points to 0. The San Diego Legion, they are in control here in the first half over the home side, the Seattle Seawolves.
These teams mark the first time that Special Olympics USA has ever sent these soccer teams to compete in international games. After 7 days of competition, the top team picked their way to a bronze medal for the India. Please welcome Simon and members of the World League soccer team who are here with us tonight at Starfire Stadium.
Welcome back to Starfire Stadium, where the Seawolves are down 14-0 to the San Diego Legion. But we did see something special before this match today, as we do before every home match. You'll see a group of small children out here with the pros, and you don't see this a lot in professional realms of sports, but every single week they have a chance to learn from the best, learning the game of rugby. And you can come out here too. Ages kindergarten through 8th grade can come out here and learn from these guys out here on the very pitch they play on. And you can find all that information and register at atavis.com.
Yeah, great stuff there from the Seawolves, a company you were involved with as well in Atavis, Kevin. Just trying to really get the youth of America to fall in love with the great game of rugby.
Yeah, they've done a great job, Atavis, and they've ventured over into the football world as well, teaching, trying to help, coaches on tackling technique and analytics, and it's a great company, great people. And so it's awesome to see the kids out there playing with the big boys.
Yep, there you heard it. It was free as well, so get on the Seawolves website, find the schedule, next home game, get your kids out here. You never know, you may have the next Olympian
Inside,
in your household.
inside.
You don't even know it until you give them a shot at rugby. There's Peterson. He drives this deep to Hutting. That sun still wreaking havoc with the Seawolves in this first half.
Let him run.
Tiberio goes high midfield. Augsburger, oh, good contest in the air.
Tackle release.
You can see he spent some time on the wing, Augsburger. Found his home at scrum half now, but great under the high ball. Try score Stanfield. Caught Crabby across field there, the old fella, as he's dumped into the ground. Now Peterson. I talked about the tactical kicking that needs to be displayed, and there Burke Combs tiptoes on the sideline. And Kev, I was just going to say, tactical kicking so key. None better than Joe Peterson.
That was a perfect place kick. You looked at the trajectory, kept it nice and low so it would bounce and go towards the touch line. But I think Sequoia was a little bit out of place there.
You see the 5 ways to score in rugby. Try.
The space in the back, please, gents.
It's the touchdown in real terms. You've got to get the ball over the line. You've got to ground it with control. You've got the conversion work too.
Man,
Penalty, drop kicks.
Tight head.
You do have the odd Doug Flutie moment. We talked about Peterson already. He's very, very dangerous with the drop goal inside the 40-metre
Free
line.
out, please.
Yeah, he had one last week, I believe.
That's that man with the ball. So he comes towards the Mattias, looping around just a little bit off with the timing there, Mattias. This is where he does his best work, though. That one, though, Tiberio too deep. There's the fullback. He fields that inside his 22 with the free kick. Now the Seawolves, they'll just get a chance to take a break here. Kev, they're just looking a little out enthused early on.
Yeah, I think so. I'm impressed by the energy level of San Diego. I would expect that out of the Seattle team, though, and they really need to pick it up. It's a 14-0 game, 20 minutes in. They're a second-half team, but they can't rely on that energy at minute 60. They really need to start getting back into this. Too many turnovers early on. Maybe it's nerves, maybe it's the bye week last weekend, but they need to really step it up here.
Perfect throw from Ewer. Finds Augsburger, go high. Mattias times his run perfectly, though.
Free kick.
Siberia, though, calls the mark yet again for another free kick inside the 22.
So you call a mark when you're inside your 22. You have pressure coming onto you, but they can't hit you. You call a mark as you catch the ball, and the referee's going to let you get a free kick. So the point of kicking right in front of the 22 is what's so priority on those high kicks, from Nate. So he was about 3 meters too long, 4 meters too long there on his kick. But they're going to get the ball right back at the 50 and have a nice attacking platform here. The midfield lineout is a great spot for the back line to attack because you have your back 3 on defense on Seattle having to play back and look for the kick still. So there are less defenders up front to defend the attacking back line.
Well, they'll go to it again. Let's see if he's figured out this one a little too deep as well, but over the shoulder of Tiberio. Doesn't call the mark for this one. Will look to counter as he drives this ball down the middle of the field, and this sets up for Peterson to counter. He's got Teo on his outside, plays the territory as Seema dances across but cannot get there in time to field that ball safely over the sideline. So the territory game here from the Legion, very, very smart. Just keeping Seattle entrenched inside their own 22.
You called it, Dan. Key to victory is tactical kicking, and so far San Diego is absolutely dominating the tactical kick. We've seen Seattle back in their end inside the 5 meter a few times just from Joe Peterson's kicks, both position and his kick. So their defensive position in the back 3 is a little bit off, and Joe Peterson's placement is actually
Space now.
pretty spot on.
Michelle looking to buy a little bit of real estate there. That penalty will help.
It's a frustrating penalty to give up right there because you know Seattle's going to take 1, maybe 2 phases and then kick it out. And you're going to get the ball somewhere between, 22 and 40 or 50. Instead, they give up a penalty on that first phase, and it's Seattle's ball outside their end with a little bit more space to attack from.
Yeah, you're right there, Kev. Big difference.
You just got to be patient there on D. You don't have to steal a ball because they're not threatening your line. So be patient and wait for them to kick the ball out so you can get the ball on your line out.
Harting at the back. Seema, little dummy. Obstruction though. You can't use your own player as a shield or to block your path downfield. And Seema
Obstruction.
just pulled that ball back. You saw he wanted to pass it out the back. And he held on to it just for a fraction of a second too long. And then the temptation, as you know, Kev, once that hole opens up, you just have to run through it.
Yeah, well, it's easy to run through when you have a guy like William Rasalika blocking for you. So, right, in rugby, for all the rugby fans out there, you cannot be in front of the ball and be a part of the game. So, if you're in front, you can be penalized for that, and that's how why the referee called back for San Diego to take 3 points here. Part of that is, Ben knows better, but I think William was just a little too tight to him. He couldn't make the pass that he wanted to, so he had to pull it back, and it would have been a knock-on or penalty either way at some point in sequence.
Another shot here for Major League Rugby's most accurate kicker, Peterson.
Looks good.
No mistake, flags are up. We take another look at what caused the penalty there. Ben Seema getting pinged for an obstruction. So you see the timing already, Kev, as the tap of the top right there. Yeah, just dices in behind Rasalika.
Yeah, and to your point, right, it started from the line out, just a little bit of a wobble, tap down, and probably threw William off a little bit there.
Seawolves kicking off deep. Peterson doesn't play around as he drives this into the sun again. Finds Harting. Well, there's no kick return coming from Harting. He will just charge that ball back at you. And now they're in the 40, the Seawolves. As they come wide, Staller is looking for Rasalika just off his right hip there.
Advantage, not rolling.
As they have the penalty advantage their way. Seema goes flat to Shell. Just has to jump up to take that pass. Takes the momentum out of his run. Seema, flat pass, Tucker. And now the crowd starting to get into it as well. They've been quiet for the opening 27 minutes because the Legion have done such a good job of controlling this game. Now they're starting to find their voice as the home side. With Tucker again, another great run from the Kiwi as he takes it up to the 22. Seema, pass goes behind Rasalika, quickly to Suniula. Well, Kearns comes in. See what the penalty's for.
Not rolling.
Not rolling.
Oh, long advantage.
Long advantage. So, Dan, a lot of the fans at home are going to be confused by what just happened, but it was the first time they were on this side of the field that there was a penalty. They went all the way across, all the way back, and they didn't gain any meters forward, so the ref finally called it back for the advantage. They had a sliver of an opportunity on the other side of the field, and they weren't able to take advantage of it. So he did call that back. It was a long advantage, but again, they did not gain any ground.
Now Kutsia, 27-year-old from South Africa. 6'1", 253.
That's a good competition.
Big boy. There's Duchel,
No,
another big boy.
it.
He takes that ball midfield now. Seawolves on the attack. Another big hit. So Paddy Ryan out
Ball
there,
his
was
way.
Paddy Ryan. The Bush Ranger uses those big shoulders of his. Now to Shell. Nasagege drives him back as well. Well, they are the #1 ranked defense in all Major League Rugby, San Diego. Not surprising. You look at the intensity they bring.
Offside 7, back foot.
And they're caught offside there again against Wuching. I think that might be
Time's
the
up.
3rd in a row against Wuching too, Kev.
He plays aggressive. He's one of the hardest
we've got the
hitting,
peak defences in the
strongest,
contact
you know,
area. 2
dynamic
ball in, 1
players
offside.
athletically, and then he plays the line of fine line of being illegal and being legal, and there he was playing that fine line, but the ref didn't see it his way. So yeah, he's gonna get some penalties, but he put some massive hits, and we've seen already a couple of them today.
They'll go to the corner here, down 17 points to 0.
Lions middle.
Just over 10 minutes left to play in this first half.
Dan, this is one of the moments in the game, right here. Seattle needs to score. They need to take advantage. It doesn't even matter if it's a 3-pointer at some point here. They have to score.
Gap, please, at the front.
They have to succeed with they have to execute. There have been 3 times down here on this side of the field where they've just lost the ball, first phase. See if the crowd can get behind them here, Dan.
Well, this is the best crowd in Major League Rugby, and that gives them a chance to rise as one. There's the try Kevin Swearin was looking for. 5 points on the board for the Seawolves. 17-5, kick to come.
The home crowd loves it, Dan, and they're ecstatic to see their team on the board finally. It took them 27, 29 minutes here, but you know what? Hats off to them for weathering the storms. San Diego came out here and just pretty much dominated the first 30 minutes of this game. Seattle's coming in, and they're coming right back at you. They don't ever quit, this team. So, you know, they had the same mindset that I was trying to vocalize there, is that they had to score, Dan. They really needed that one.
They did now. Brock Stoller, leading point scorer in Major League Rugby, will line this one up. Look to bring them to within 10 points off the Legion. Still 10 minutes to play here in the first half. Plenty of time for the Seawolves to put another one on the board. Stoller off the boot, shaves the right upright, unsuccessful. 17 points to 5, the score remains.
And as you mentioned, you have the most accurate player in San Diego, but you also have the leading point scorer in Brock Stoller for the league. And he usually makes those. I will be pretty surprised, when he comes back, if he was going to miss another one. He's accurate in his own right.
Ricard Hutting, so dynamic on those kick returns. Now Smith goes to the left boot, high. Teo, Burkheim's coming through at 1,000,000 miles an hour to put on pressure. Teo, though, he doesn't flinch. Still with the Legion here inside their own 40.
Use it, 9.
8 minutes left to play here in the first half. Augsburger goes high again. The territory game being very successful. And an uncharacteristic mistake there from the number 9 on your screen as he puts that one out on the full. And a line out for the Seawolves. And Kevin, you and I have spoken ad nauseum about this, how strong Seattle are in the second half. And I'm sure that's weighing on the minds of the Legion players as well, knowing how dominant they do come home, especially with this home field advantage.
Yeah, there's no question, Dan. Seattle, known for their reserves coming on the field, injecting a level of pace that's different than their starters. And as we watch that lineup be lost to San Diego.
Good steal from the Legion. Audsley now goes wide. Teo down this wing. Look for the little kick over the top. Teo comes down. Well fielded by Tiberio. As he's brought down inside his 22. The Legion just flooding in there. And straight off their feet too. Just a little bit too enthusiastic at the breakdown. They had the player advantage. Just needed to show a little bit more patience.
That's one of those you'll watch game film tomorrow and just be so frustrated by the situation because you know you won the ball. You know all you got to do is stay on your feet. But as those players push over, they lose their feet, fall down, and instant penalty. It's an easy call for the ref.
Let's have a little bit more gap this time, please. I just managed to lose.
Referee Williams has done a pretty good job for his first hit out in Major League Rugby. Here he's asking for a bit more of a gap at the scrum.
Set.
Very, very competitive thus far, these scrums.
Use on these sets.
There's Rasalika. Part of the Fijian connection here up in Seattle. Along with the godfather, Pate Tuliavuka. We caught up with our former teammate earlier today.
Pate helping out with the Seattle team, you know, as a quote-unquote consultant, helping the back line out a little bit. That was a beautiful kick by Ben Sema, by the way. Almost 10 meters beyond the halfway point. That's a huge advantage when you can get 30, 40 meters of territory.
Yeah, Pate is telling us he's not an assistant coach, he's an assistant to the coach. As Augsburger returns fire again, you can see Staller looking up into the sun there. Kearns comes through, pressure.
Look, no hands! Roll away now, come back.
Legion just come pouring in there. Not surprised Williams blows his whistle at all because there's no control at the breakdown from the Legion players.
Prevented the ball coming out.
And Ferra Malua, he earns himself a yellow card. It'll be 10 minutes in the sin bin for the Fijian. And now a little opportunity opens up here for the Seawolves as the Legion will be down to 14 players for the next 10 minutes. No touch finder from Sema. That's a costly error. Peterson goes high. Teo pouring through. Smith does well. For the Seawolves, they'll be hoping this sun continues to sit out to the west there and cause the same issues in the second half for the Legion players as they have had to deal with here in the first. They're brought down just outside their 22. Tucker.
Strip tackle, play up.
Great steal from the Legion. Manahera though. Forgot what team he was playing there for a second, the big number 8, as he tosses it out to Brock Staller.
Back, stay. Thank you.
Training camp for the Seahawks doesn't start for a couple of months there, Big Jordo.
Away you go, please.
It's interesting watching this game so far. You have multiple turnovers back to back. You know, the teams are running around a little frantic. You see a lot of players down right now, just tired. They're getting a little fatigued here in the first half. You'd be surprised the sun's hurting San Diego, but it might be hurting Seattle a little bit. We're not used to this heat.
What have you got for me?
Well, it's quite a warm day, Kev, especially down on the field. It seems to add a couple of degrees to the old thermometer there.
And the pace in which the two teams are playing at right now is you know,
so
at a very high level. So I'm not surprised.
So we've got White 2 has come in on the side entry. Is it? He's coming, he's counting up.
Well, let's just listen to Williams here. His assistant referee's coming in.
And he's led with the elbow and made contact with the hand. Is it? Is that what you're telling me?
After the tackle is finished out of the ruck.
Okay.
So he threw him on the ground and then pushed him down with the score onto the face.
Okay, so...
Recommendation?
Yeah, recommendation, please.
Just penalty only, but I would talk to 2 white.
Okay, 2 white, okay. Captain and 2 white, please.
Well, there you have it. Muir appeared to have done something there.
So we just got an off the ball incident by you, okay? Rugby discipline is really important now. You've always got one man in the bin, okay? It's a good contest, okay? You don't want to put your team under more pressure than it needs to be, okay? Please control discipline, okay? Thank you. So penalties here. Thank you.
Dan, I really like the conversation that just occurred between the ref and the assistant ref on the side. You know, recognize the situation of the game. One man is already in the bin. The number 2 comes in with a little bit of what we like to call some business on the field, you know. But he's taking the situation into account. and not giving another yellow card to San Diego.
It's number 2 for a Legion. I'm not too sure where Muir is there, so it may have happened a little earlier from that. It was kind of vague, but nonetheless, back to the action here as the Seawolves will shift this ball wide. Toburio with a little bit of space as he's taken down.
Line.
Right on the halfway line. Mecha. Oh, they're up quick on Tim Mecha. He was definitely excited for the game to run into his old sparring partner in Paddy Ryan. Teammates at the Waratahs for a moment. Played against each other a bunch as well in Australia, and this is a great run from the Seawolves, still going forward.
Tackle release! Let it come, let it come! 8.
And we commented on the energy from San Diego in the opening 20 minutes, Kev. It's definitely flipped here as Seattle, they look to be handling the conditions a little bit better.
Of his own player.
Yeah, Dan, San Diego's getting matched now by Seattle, but they're down a man too, so they're just trying to weather the storm until Veramulua can come back into the game.
They cause the turnover. Now Pifaliti. Peterson beats 1, beats 2 Peterson. Had support inside from Teo, can't find his fullback.
Didn't survive.
Ball comes back, Wolfsberger flat, Pifaliti. Position to pass, and thinks better off it. Now Audsley, the outside centre, finds Wuching. Wolfsberger again down the short side, Kearns. That jinking right foot step of his. Oxford University graduate.
Stand up.
Now Wuching. San Diego with a big opportunity to put on some points before the halftime break here. Peterson. How about the footwork? Peterson beats 3 before he runs into a competent tackle. Manahera back inside. Paddy Ryan. Oh, put a 1 before the number 3, Paddy Ryan. What a great inside line there from the front rower. Manahera.
Short release, here it come.
He has a shot down this short side.
Time's off.
Timeout from referee Williams. Let's listen in here as he'll bring his assistant referee in to have a conversation. I'm not sure I saw a grounding.
Okay, I haven't seen a grounding. Anything? I'm going to go with an unplayable attacking ball unless you have anything different for me.
No.
Okay.
Eventually the ball made it there, but there was a movement first in front.
Okay.
And then I couldn't see what happened.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go attacking ball, unplayable, held up, scrum. Okay, it's held up, guys. It's a scrum attacking ball.
Another great conversation, Dan, between the referees to get it right. I think that's the right call. You're not sure, you just let it go, let it play. Let the players decide what's happening on the field. So another great call by the Welshman here, in his first MLR match. I'm very impressed. And San Diego coming in here, 14 men, playing 14 men, taking 40 meters of territory and nearly scoring. They're doing a phenomenal job right now. So you're going to see the wing come into the scrum to give them a little bit of extra support. So they have their 8 versus 8, and they're going to be short 1 man out in the back line.
Okay, off the mark.
See Connor Kearns in the 14. On the opposite side of the scrum that you can see.
Crouch.
We approach the halftime break.
Bind. Set.
And the makeup of this game, this is a really big moment for both these sides. Seattle, can they hold true here on their line? Peterson wide, Audsley beats Rusalika, but the defense swarms to the outside centre. He's tackled right in front of the post. Wuching may have spilt that one forward. No, he's done well to hold on there. They come down again. Pifaliti low, spins. Over. There's the try.
Time's off.
And timeout.
8, away you go, please.
Well, look at this. It's getting very, very chippy out there. Both these sides, they know what's on the line. A win here tonight. Be interested to hear what referee Williams' conversation is here.
Okay, yeah.
It's a big man, Kini Nasagege. He's awarded with the try, but let's listen in to Williams.
Captain number 5.
Well, hold on a second. We're having a talk.
Okay, we have a dangerous clear out to the ruck. There's no arms, with force, direct contact to the head. Therefore, that is a red card. You must leave the field.
Wow. Wow. No try. We're going red card against Nasagege for attacking the head. And San Diego, well, it was tough down to 14. They'll be down to 13.
That's not half time.
Until Vera Malua can come back in the second half. And 14 for the rest of the game. What a big moment, Kevin Swearin.
I'm shocked, Dan. I'm shocked by it. You know, we can't obviously see what's going on, you know, in that small little bit of a scrum, but in that ruck. But we're going to try to take a look. So Pifoletti takes it in, and he goes full on shoulder, no wrap, into the head. It's very dangerous. Is it deserving of a red card? It's hard to tell from that angle, but the referees agreed so, and he's gone for the rest of the match. It definitely was a dangerous play from our vantage point.
Well, he didn't blow the try, apology viewers. It was the penalty down there for the clean out. We thought Pifoletti had spun around and got the ball down.
Advantage, not rolling.
They have a penalty advantage, and you'd think they'd absolutely take 3 points in this situation. As Manahera goes up to the line, dishes to Wuching. Peterson will take the drop goal. There it is. Drop goal is good. 3 points on the board, or we're going back to the offside for the penalty. I've got to stick up. Williams is he's ahead of me, Kevin. I can't keep up with him.
I just had to tap you there and say, no. He's coming back for the penalty, but it was a nice effort by Joe on the drop goal. And you see, he knew the advantage was on. Nate knew the advantage was on. They set it up beautifully. If he can make it, perfect. We jog back to the other end. But now he'll take his 3 points from the tee. You know, straight in front of the post. You are almost guaranteed he's going to make this.
That's done, yeah.
This kick. And they did a great job there. They had 13 men. They played 4, 5, 6 phases. That's exactly the scenario they wanted. They weren't trying to score at that point. They're down, 13-15, 13v15, and they're looking for a penalty and the half with an extra 3 points.
Peterson on the stroke of half-time to add 3 more. Flags go up 20 points to 5. And Kev, let me tell you, the real story of this first half for me is going to be these 2 cards. The yellow and then the red against San Diego. They're up 15 points, but is it going to be enough as they run into the second half and being down to 14 for another 40 minutes?
That's what everyone's going to have to tune in to find out, Dan. It's going to be an exciting game. San Diego is going to have a hard uphill battle in the second half, but they do have a cushion. So we'll see what Seattle brings. Hopefully they don't expect to just get the points because they're up a man.
Let's go down the field now with Jessamine McIntyre and Eric Duchel from the Seawolves.
Well, it wasn't your game for the first half, 20-5, you're down, but you're known as a second half team, plus you'll have the 2-man advantage, at least for the first 5 minutes of the second half. How do you get beyond the try line in that second half?
You know, we got to pull together as a team. We're a family, and our values are excellence and integrity. So let's find out the character of our boys. We're warriors. We're going to get them.
All right, thank you so much, Eric. Good luck in the second half. Guys, back upstairs to you.
Oh, look out, Jessamine. He's pumped up. He's got no San Diego player to tackle. He might come after you. Well, it was an enthralling opening 40 minutes. Action aplenty. We'll dive into it after the break. It's 20 points to 5. The away team, the Legion, in the lead after 40 minutes. Welcome back to Starfire Stadium, Seattle, Washington. 40 minutes gone here in this heavyweight clash between the Seawolves and the Legion. 20 points to 5 for the Legion. And Kev, let's take a look at those first half highlights.
Yeah, Dan, it was dominated by San Diego for most of the half. They had some big runs. Their Mattias down the sideline here. It didn't end up leading to a try, but they did get the scrum right away after. And then Seattle started coming back. They really started to meet the intensity of San Diego, and they were able to get on the board themselves with a nice mauling try from the line out. And so they came back in the game, but it was the end of the half that really struck us. We had a yellow card for Vera Malua. He's out another 5 minutes, but right at the end of the game was a big red card for number 5 from San Diego, Nasatika. Nasagege.
Red carded. Penalty kick right at the end for Peterson. That left us with a score of 20 points to 5. Stay with us. We'll delve deep into the action for the second half right after this.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we continue our halftime presentation by welcoming the Deputy Director of the Criminal Justice Training Commission, who has been involved in the law enforcement torture trial in Washington State for more than 30 years, including serving as the Director of the Executive Council, and is now a member of the Special Olympics Washington Board of Directors. Alongside Seawolves Hunter Shane Skinner, please welcome Rex Caldwell.
Thank you, Seattle Seawolves, for this opportunity to talk about the torch run and Special Olympics. As mentioned, my name is Rex Caldwell. I'm the commander of the Police Academy for Washington State, along with Seawolves owner Special Olympics. I just returned from Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates, where I was one of the torch runners for the World Games. World Games representing 195 countries from around the globe. Our own Washington State athletes got bronze medals in swimming and 11 for flag soccer. There are roughly 20,000 athletes in Washington State out of the 180,000 people with intellectual disabilities. You've no doubt noticed the police cars, officers in uniform, and the Seattle Pipe Band behind me. Who represent the 20,000 police officers and
Major League Rugby and the Seattle Seawolves are brought to you by Elysian Brewing. Elysian is the official craft beer sponsor of the Seattle Seawolves, and together they have released Scrum, an Irish dry stout. Available now. Together we hunt. Washington Federal, your banking team partner for more than 100 years and awarded Best Bank by Money Magazine. And Virginia Mason Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, exclusive medical provider of the Seattle Seawolves. Discover more at virginiamason.org/ortho. Virginia Mason, be remarkable. Welcome back to Starfire, folks. It has been an absolute belter of a game thus far. 20 points to 5, the Legion in the lead. And Kev, for me, the story of the first half really comes down to those cards, and can San Diego manage to finish this game with 14 players? But first, we'll go down onto the field with Jessamine McIntyre with a little update on what this evening's all about here at Starfire.
That's right, Dan. It's law enforcement night here at Starfire Stadium, and the Seawolves have donated 100 tickets to both law enforcement and the Special Olympics for their efforts in the community. Now, the law enforcement Torchlight Run has raised over $600 million nationwide since its inception in 1981, and the Seawolves are just doing what they can to give back just a bit. I've been told time and time again how much of a community sport rugby is, and Shane Skinner, owner of the Seawolves, has gone above and beyond to prove that he wants to make an important mark on this community, both on the pitch and off of it. So we'll take you back throughout the rest of this halftime show and get you ready for the second one. I'll send it back upstairs to Dan and Kevin.
Thank you, Jessamine. Thank you to all the service people and to the Special Olympics. What a great organisation to be involved in out here for the Seawolves. We'll take a break. We'll return the kickoff to the second half right here at Starfire Stadium.
Right, I'll catch you at the end.
Two different cheer squads tonight are forming a halftime fan wall over here. From the Mitchell County I2F Special Olympics here, we have Michaela as well as her team. And we also have the JBLM Tigers in the house. Also over here. We are very honored to have both of these teams over. Thank you so much for helping us tonight. And speaking of those two teams, Michaela, Sandy, and Officer Gilbert can help us right now. Thanks to you, we have raised $130 to help Special Olympics over Washington. That money has already been donated through ticket sales. Thank you very much. We already picked out a winning ticket. Somebody else who's now going to win $130 themselves. And oh, by the way, feel free to donate all of that money back to Special Olympics too. Let's go ahead and draw tickets. Sandy's going to draw for us. Great job, Sandy. Excellent work. Let's go ahead and read the winning ticket. It is
Come out and experience the excitement of the Seattle Seawolves Major League Rugby in person. With tickets nearly sold out to every game, StubHub will hook you up with exactly the seats you want. StubHub is the official secondary ticketing partner of the Seattle Seawolves. Go to www.stubhub.com today. StubHub, be there. And welcome back to Starfire, folks. Moments away from the kickoff as we take a look at both of these benches, Kev. And they're going to be used heavily, in particular for San Diego, down to 14.
Yeah, their boys are going to get tired out, you know, from playing down a couple men. But but you're going to see the Seawolves injecting pace of their own. You know, in Lehnertz, Gordon, Phil Mack, you know, plays 80 minutes almost every game last year. And of course, Matt Turner, coming off injury and back into the lineup. You watch him take a lot of ball and start to attack the potential gaps of San Diego.
Yeah, Turner in the 23 jersey, the fullback for the Seawolves. They will remember him. And one to watch in particular. Also the debut for the Seawolves, potentially, of Joey Yosefo. Had some time in the NFL with the Carolina Panthers, I believe. Maybe in camp with them recently, but look to see if he can get on the field. A big man indeed in the midfield.
And not a complete rookie, right, to rugby at all. He was playing for Houston Sabercats last year. You know, grew up playing some rugby. So, you know, it is a transition, especially around the cardiovascular fitness. But it would be nice to see him coming off the field. There was a signing this week, or I believe, yeah.
Pretty close.
Week. Yeah.
Well, we talked about Matt Turner. Let's go down to Jessamine McIntyre with more on the Seawolves fullback.
Well, guys, we haven't seen him in action for the last 3 weeks, including that bye, that is. So it's been 2 matches that he's missed. But I am told that Richie Walker is extremely excited to get him back out there on the pitch. He told me with a big smile before this one that he expects to see a lot of him in the second half. So we'll see what he can do when he returns to the pitch.
He really does change the attacking landscape for the Seawolves, doesn't he, Kev? Just that ability to counter-attack off those kicks. It will change the way Joe Peterson approaches his tactical kicking as well.
Yeah, Matt can cover ground like, you know, almost nobody. So, you know, he was at one point up for the honors of World Sevens Player of the Year. He's one of the best, you know, athletes that I've ever got the pleasure of playing with, and unfortunately against, you know, when he was playing for England. Yeah, he injects a different level of pace and dynamic to this team. So we'll see what San Diego, you know, does on their end, but they have, you know, incredible pace and athleticism on their side with Mikey Teo and Ryan Mattias and Nate Osberger. You know, their back three and their back line, you know, is probably one of the most competitive back lines in the league. And so, you know, they're not scared by any means, you know, of anyone on the other side of the field, no matter who they're playing
We're ready
against.
to go.
Well, the number 1 ranked defense in Major League Rugby is the San Diego Legion, and it will be tested here in this second 40 minutes as they will play the opening 5 minutes down to 13, the entire 40 without Kinanasa Gege, who was red carded at the back end of the first half. It'll be the Seawolves, though. They get first use of the ball here in the second stanza as they're tackled just inside their 22. Kutsia. He centers the ball up, still inside the 22, so Seaman will be able to kick this one out in the full. He does just that, the young fly half, up towards the halfway line.
I love the distance he's getting. It's a perfect angle for him. You know, he's about 15 meters from the touch line, so he's got a great angle to get, you know, 30-plus meters outside the 22. So anything inside the territory of San Diego on those kicks is really good. You know, that's a huge win. So good on Ben to start the half off, and now you want to see Seattle put some pressure on San Diego early, get the ball back.
Stop.
Augsburger goes high off that box kick. And Pete, Kev,
5, 4, thank you.
Something to remember, that Seattle have yet to taste defeat here at Starfire, undefeated in the year and a half that Major League Rugby has existed.
Yeah, a lot of that's to credit to the fans, but you know, it's a great place to play for the players. And there's going to be a lot of fight in this. You know, we've started off a little bit slower than we did in the first half. You know, I think everyone's going to be, you know, trying to weigh out what's going to be a very epic battle in the second half between these two teams. And San Diego wants to slow it down right now, down 2 men. They're playing, you know, Seattle needs to just play rugby right now. 4 or 5 minutes, just play as hard as you can, tire them out.
Witching takes that successfully at the back as Duplessis goes for a run up into the Seawolves half. Comes back Peterson.
2-8.
Caught a little unawares there. Peterson wasn't expecting that, and Seema, he flies high and takes that one up towards the halfway line. Kutsia goes up towards the far touchline now, and Tucker plays to Suniula. Mecha. Well, big hit comes in from Stanfields. He shoots up, Drives his right shoulder into the chest of Mecha. Seawolves come back to this right-hand side. Duchel wide, one-on-one with Augsburger. Oh, copybook tackle there from the number 9 against the much bigger man in Duchel.
Didn't survive.
Khalifi. That's some good go-forward ball there for the Seawolves. Let's see what Simba can do off the back as he finds Suniula. Quick hands, out wide. Burke Combs, we know he can finish. Back! Pass doesn't go to hand. Smith had only Paddy Ryan to beat to the try line there. You would fancy his chances against the much bigger Paddy Ryan. But now turned over as the Legion have it through Wuching.
That's advantage
close to that sideline. Duplessis now up to the 40. His advantage is over for the Legion. Augsburger, it opens up. He needs some support. Little chip over the top. He's tackled well after he's kicked that ball. And Cam Paulson could be in a little bit of strife here as well.
That's a huge mistake, Dan, because now you're seeing the ref pull out another yellow card, but to Seattle this time. And so he's going to even things up for a little while. You know, Vera Malua's coming back on, if not already. And so now Seattle's, you know, not going to be able to take advantage of that man up for an extra 10 minutes. San Diego's done a great job to start this half. Started off slow, waste some time. Seattle's, you know, they did a great job there, you know, attacking and putting some phases together, but they didn't capitalize, and they really needed to. There's a huge difference in the game in that moment of turning it over. When we look at Cam here in the bin, you know, he knows that was a mistake he shouldn't have made. You know, he's going to put a little bit of extra pressure on his team, so he'll be eager to come back on the field in 10 minutes after that break.
Yeah, you've got about 30 seconds.
Yeah, not surprising. 3 points on offer here for Peterson. Just extend that lead a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. At the kick off, he can walk back on. Thank you.
And you just heard the ref there, Dan.
Malua will be back.
Yep. He'll be back. He also...
Okay, captain, let's go, please.
He told Joe he needs to hurry up here. He's wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, no mistake from Peterson. Well, it's becoming very predictable at the right boot of Joe Peterson. Another 3 points. 23 points to 5.
Just the perfect start they wanted. So you see Nate break through Seattle's defense and Cam coming in late, not letting him run. Once he doesn't have the ball, you can't tackle him. So an easy call for the referee there to put Cam in the bin.
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that, you know, head coaches, they fume over that stuff because very preventable from Paulson. He's just given San Diego that tackle high from Duchel.
Slipped up.
And we'll go back down to the field with Jessamine McIntyre and an update on that man in the bin, Cam Paulson.
Guys, I can say that there's no worries with Cam Paulson and what he is actually feeling over here on the sidelines. He knew what he did was wrong, and he was ready to sit over in the sin bin. He said it's just the way of the world, so I wouldn't worry about his attitude. He'll just be eager to get back out there when he can.
Space, please, back. Keep going. Stand up, fellas. Thank you. 10 advantage. Advantage, no arms. Time's off. What's the number on the first one? Okay. Captain? Sorry, please. Okay, can we just have a word with high tackles now for your team? Okay, both sides have high tackles now. Yeah. And number 3 as well, just going in with the shoulder off the ball, okay? Please can we have more discipline? Okay? Thank you. Okay, so you got the penalty for the high tackle here, or number 3 shoulder charge over here. Okay. So marks here. Shoulder charge 3. Okay. Change, please. Change. Change. Wait there. Let him leave field.
Guys, we are experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties, so
two,
Dan
please.
and Kevin will be back on the call here as we were at Starfire Stadium. The Seawolves trailing the Legion 23-5, about 48 minutes into this one. So we do apologize for those technical difficulties, but we will have Dan and Kevin back shortly.
Free kick, scrum.
Hey folks, well, big apologies from up here. Some technical difficulties, but we've ironed them out. The Gremlins, they're in full effect at Starfire today. Well, at least we got to sit back and enjoy the game for a couple of minutes there, Kev. It's just some fans, not a bad experience.
I was trying to, pretend like I was IT over here, fixing the technical difficulties, but our men have got us back on, so we're good.
Crouch. Bind.
23 points to 5.
Hold.
Just under 10 minutes gone here in the second half.
You.
It's the Seawolves inside the 22. We'll reset the scrum. A little messy at the back there.
Forward, it's a reset scrum.
Not too often you see the number 8 from one side getting all the way around to tackle the other number 8, but Menahera doing just that.
Yeah, so the ref's going to bring it back to Seattle on that one just for a reset.
And our binds nice and long, please.
You'll see that one just out of control. Unplayable at the back, so they'll reset, hopefully get a better platform.
Crouch.
And he could have called the penalty one way or the other, but those are the times where you just say, let's reset, let's get it back to the team that has the ball.
Use or reset.
Cutting at the back, finds Smith short, Rusalika. Great tackle from Augsburger low to stop the big Fijian. They come wide, Suniula.
Roll clear.
Well, we've seen him light up the turf here.
No.
Hutting, Rusalika, Augsburger again, what a tackle. The little number 9. Tucker, oh, big Brad Tucker, what a bruising run. And the Legion, they have a player down in back play, reeling from that collision.
Number 8, it's a high tackle, okay? High tackle, number 8.
Another yellow card coming in.
Okay, time's off.
Looks like he sent off Menahera, Dan.
Oh, and Peterson's a player that's down too. Oh, let's hope he's okay. That would be massive. They need him. Look at this Tucker. Oh, not today.
And you can't take a guy anywhere above the shoulders, right, Dan? So the second his arm slides up to his neck, he grabs his neck, holds on, really try-saving tackle at that point, but it's a yellow card and he's in the bin for it. It might be a little bit harsh, but again, he's trying to settle this down. There are some huge collisions coming in, Dan. Both teams are coming in hot. They're smashing each other both on attack and defense. We're going to see an absolute battle here the next 30 minutes. I am looking forward to how these teams prevent each other from going forward and or just going forward.
There's some big changes coming in here. See Matt Turner, there's Khalifi making his way to the bench. Good shift for the big man, 50 minutes.
And this is where, you know, you talked about, Dan, early on, Seattle being a second-half team. Their bench comes on, and they really change the pace of the game. All they ask their starters to do is get us through 50 minutes, and the next 30 comes, you know, with the substitutions, and they really, you know, Lanearts comes in, Kellen Gordon comes in, and they start, you know, bringing that pace, bringing the intensity up another level. We still see Joe Peterson down on the sideline here, and Manahara in the box in the sin bin. He'll be sitting there for a cool 10 minutes. Big number 8.
Just wondering if Peterson is going into a HIA protocol here, Kev, after that knock.
Yeah, time stopped, yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty high coming into Brad Tucker. You know, it's kind of a scary man to be looking across from, running full speed. So he was a little bit high in that tackle, and may have got an elbow or a shoulder to his head.
Okay.
Yeah, Brad Tucker, he's a bad man.
Okay.
You know,
Time is on.
Chuck Norris, he tells Brad Tucker jokes. That's how bad he is.
And Joe can, so he can come off the field for 5 minutes and get assessed. 10 minutes, get assessed, and come back on. It's the only protocol where you can come off the field other than a blood sub.
Comes off the hand of Wuching there. Advantage going to the Seawolves. Duchel. Well, this is just going to be such a huge test for the Legion here to hold on to this lead. 25 points to 3. Yep. The hurdles that have been put in front of them this afternoon. Self-inflicted, or nonetheless though, Manahara, Veramalua, both yellow cards, and of course the big one, Nasagege, gone with the red card. Veramalua, he's back on the field now, and Peterson, probably the biggest loss of the bunch would be Peterson if he cannot make it back. There you see Joe Peterson sitting down.
Yeah, so for all those rookie rugby fans out there, right, we've got 15v15, but right now we're playing 13v14. The advantage to Seattle, so it makes it for an interesting game. It's a little bit more open spaces for the attacking team.
Smith goes to Rusalika. That one out crash. He's just trying to bring in the defenders from out wide. It's work too here. Hatin, quick hands. Oh, Kutsia. He had to get rid of that ball. And Nosa shot in to shut him down and did a fantastic job. Now Tucker. There'll be little kids in the Pacific Northwest going to bed tonight, looking for Brad Tucker under their bed, I think. As Rusalika goes wide, Tiberio's close, he reaches out, the fullback. He's held up, scrambling defense from the Legion. We'll come back for a scrum. The pressure continues to build though.
Take your time, fellas. Yeah, of course. You okay, fellas? Okay?
We got another player down, Dan. It looks like Pete Tiberio coming across, trying to step off his left foot. And they were able to hold him up.
Time's off.
But he looks like he took a little bit of a knock himself, maybe to the head.
Sorry? Okay, yeah, you're scrum.
He very well could have broken his nose for the fourth time in his career.
Yeah, old Pete, and that beak of his, he goes to the zoo and people try to feed him seeds. They think he's the toucan.
As much as I like it to be
he was close though, Kevin, wasn't he? He was so close to the line. Oh, great defense. Who is that under there for the Legion? Oh, Ryan Mattias.
Yep.
What a champion.
Yeah, it was Nate Osberger and Ryan Mattias. They actually, all three of those guys played together on the US Sevens team. You know, they look like
teammates down in Arizona, weren't they? Tibbs and Mattias?
I believe so. Mattias maybe a couple years younger than Tibbs, but both great players, both played for the US, and then Osberger in there as well to help save that try.
You're still out, fellas.
Looks like Tibbs will be just fine after shaking that one off.
Well, the casualty ward from this game, it's going to be a high number, Kevin.
Well,
both these sides.
You see there's blood on a few guys' jerseys. You know, we've had a few stoppages for injury time. And
let's go down to Jessamine McIntyre with one of the Seawolves players, a little bit more information.
Yeah, guys, John Hayden actually just got looked at and wrapped up. That right knee and lower leg actually all wrapped up there. He was being looked at for a while. You were talking about the multitude of injuries in this one, and that's just another to add to the pile.
Yeah, thanks, Jasmine. You get a good look there, right the scrum at the front. The freshly taped knee of Hayden.
And he's just come onto the field as well. It's a big scrum by Seattle.
Smith at the back, looks down the short side. Augsburger up to the task. Counter ruck comes in from the Legion. It's a good one.
Still advantage.
Not turned over though. They have the advantage to the Seawolves. Kutsia finds Hayden. Oh, he doesn't look good on that leg, Hayden, does he? He's not moving well at all. That hit up, he didn't look like he had much confidence in the right leg.
Walking around the scrum.
Yeah, well, San Diego's coming up, 5-6 meters off the line, and he's standing still, just trying to take a one step into two men. You got to be a pretty powerful guy, on two good legs to win that matchup. So, they really got to. I think Seattle knew they had the advantage there. They were just trying to get the penalty back, to be honest, and so they weren't attacking with any, legitimacy there, Dan. They want to get back to the scrum, which they dominated in 30 seconds ago, and I think they're going to go for the pushover or penalty try. See if San Diego can match up.
Crouch. Bind.
They bring Tiberio in to go to a full contingent of 8 here, the Seawolves.
Stay straight. Use it.
Ball at the back, Hutting. They'll go wide. Seema. Suniula turns it back against the grain there to Rusalika. Had some quick ball. It turned into slow ball though. They ran past the breakdown. And now it's the Seawolves continuing to knock on the door here. Suniula, the dummy. Well, the footwork of Suniula, sublime in this part of the field. Another run here for the Seawolves. They are inches away from a try. Seema, crossfield kicks, they've got numbers, they've got to score. Suniula with the catch, Suniula with the dive. Oh, what defense from the Legion. It's a certain 5-pointer, and now it comes out wide. It's the hooker and Kutsia, he dives into the corner. 23 points to 10, the Seawolves is the comeback on the cards.
That was a great effort by both teams, Dan. I am so impressed by San Diego's defense. They are scrappy players. Ben Seema saw the numbers were to the right. They passed it to him on the left instead. He kicks it over to Shalom Soniula on the wing, and it just took one more phase from J.P. Smith to the other South African, Kutsia, to score in the corner. And so here it begins, minute 56, 57 and counting, Dan, and we're looking for, a pretty phenomenal last 20 minutes of the game. Seattle's got to bring it. San Diego's going to keep fighting, keep scrapping. Their defensive scramble, right? So the play's going one way, it turns to another. They're working around, or it's quick ball, or it's an offload, and they scramble, and they spread, and they make their tackles. They're a phenomenal tackling team. And I'm very impressed by the way in which, with a man down, they were able to hold Seattle back. But Seattle didn't give up the fight. They really kept pushing forward. Again, they have the advantage. They are up one man. And so you would expect them to make the 5-pointer there.
Good from Stoller. No good. 2 misses on the day for Brock Stoller. 23 points to 10. 13-point difference. Is it enough? As we have 22 minutes left to play here at Starfire Stadium. That's the question.
Well, and it shows the effect of the game is having on these players right now, Dan. The pace is so high, it's so intense, and Brock, who can usually clear easily from the sideline, barely made it to the pole. So you wonder if it's going to affect him later in the later stages of the game as well.
That's inside.
Inside the 22 here for the Seawolves is Tucker. He'll look to get outside the 22. He doesn't do that. Now Seema drives that over the sideline. Good clearing kick there from the young fly half. It'll be a San Diego line out though. Inside their own half.
And here's the challenge, Dan, is, you know, they're down a man. You can't play defense for the rest of the game. You can't just keep kicking it down to Seattle's end and play the territory game. So you do have to attack when the moments allow, and this might be one of them. They play a few phases. You have Joe Peterson out. Tactically, you can't kick as well, but they need to...
Stop! 14, stop!
And there they go. They kick straight away.
Nosa, right on the mark. He makes the tackle just outside the 22.
Okay, roll out.
Better placement there from Augsburger. Now the Seawolves attack. Sunula with the juggle, brings in two to Rusalika. Now Tiberio. He's chopped down by Duplessis.
You rolled him onto the ball, play on.
And now Tucker. Things almost open up for Tucker there. It's just a desperation tackle from Stanfield that brings him down. Otherwise, Tucker was away. Now they go wide, Staller. Hasn't seen much quality ball out in that wing today, Brock Staller. He can change that in the blink of an eye, though. Seema spots half a gap before he's tackled inside the half. Off the Legion, Rusalika. Offloads. Big contact comes in. And diving over against Seattle. This is a long, long range kick. I'm just looking at the flags here, Kev. And not much of a breeze. We do have Dylan Audsley, who's a long range, long bomb kicker. Not as accurate as Peterson, but interesting to see. It's Kearns with ball in hand.
Okay, time's off. We have a head injury, and that's a water break.
There you go. We'll take a short break. When we return, the second half concludes. It is an enthralling one, 23 points to 10. The Legion, they have the lead over the home side, the Seattle Seawolves. Welcome back to Starfire Stadium. 20 minutes left to play here. The Legion holding on to a 13-point lead, and I do mean holding on. They have been absolutely decimated by cards this afternoon. 2 yellows and a red. 3 yellows it is now, in fact, and a red.
So guys, it's going to be a kick at goal, okay?
And not surprisingly, as you hear referee Williams letting the Seawolves know, the Legion, they'll take the 3 points anytime points are on offer with this lead and the situation they find themselves in, Kev. You've got to take them.
I think so, and tactically, if you think about it, he's going to kick, and whether he's short or misses, you know, Seattle's going to have the ball, touch it down, and be kicking in the 22. So they'll drop kick, you know, ideally for San Diego, they would be drop kicking it right back to them around the same field position. So, you know, they could kick it to touch and do the line out and work that scenario, but we'll see if Dylan Audsley here, you know, St. Mary's alumni, you know, big kudos to them and their season so far, although they did lose to Cal.
I was watching him in warm-ups, Kev. He's definitely got the range for this kick. Different under pressure of a game. That one's going to be short, though. And Seema fields this in the shadows of his goalposts and drives his kick back. And Nosa, though, perfect position. Now Teo. Comes wide to Ruching. Ruching, what an offload to Nosa. Back to Verimalua. Verimalua, but we're coming all the way back down for a forward pass. Well, that would have been one of the tries of the year right there. But a forward pass, it spoils it right at the death.
We talked about at the start of the game, Dan. We were looking for the flair of Seattle to come into this game. You know, one of the keys to victory. And here's San Diego, time and time again, is showing that they have the flair and they're ready to attack. Saw Mu Ching with just a little bit of a forward pass to Tai Inosa there. Back,
let's get the scrum set.
Back to Veramula, back to Tai, but all for naught, unfortunately, for them. And we're going to see Seattle with the scrum here on the right side of the field.
Crouch.
Watch for an attacking, the attacking back line. See what they can get away with against the San Diego defense. And you just have one player in the back here with Mikey Teo, so the corners, both corners open.
Okay, let's keep the height.
If they can move the ball a little bit, I think they can find some corners to fill territory and make it a little bit easier for themselves. So far, Seattle's shown they want to keep ball in hand.
Let's go, Kel. Come on, Hagan.
They'll be okay with this time it takes to set the scrum as Manahera and the sin bin will be back momentarily. It's the Seawolves now. Phil Mack at the back. Good jinking run there from the veteran. Now Duchel. What a character. His halftime interview absolutely outstanding, wasn't it? You gotta how can you not like Eric Duchel?
That's the glory of getting a player right off the in 10-second first half there.
There's Matt Turner. Hardly recognise Matt Turner with his natural hair colour.
That's clearly on the shoulder, that's play on.
Sported the frosty tips there for quite a while. Now they come wide.
Nothing there.
Gordon out there. They come the same way again. Joe Yosefo in the 22, getting his first touch as a Seawolf. We saw him with the Sabercats last year.
That's tackle release.
Now Seema goes out to Tucker. Now Turner, there's a bit of space. Hutting. Drawing pass to Rusalika. The crowd, they get to their feet. They know something big's going to happen when big Willie Rusalika gets the ball.
Ball onside.
Now Suniula. Crossfield needs support. What an offload. Kutsia. He's tackled. 15 out from the line. They've still got numbers down this short side here as they come wide. This is going to be the try. It's going to be an absolute ripper to Leynuts. And the Seawolves, they're right back in the mix here at Starfire.
There's the flare right there. Shalom Suniula taking one step, beating a man. I think it was Saw Mu Ching, and then getting the offload. So quick pull from that play, and then hands down to the sideline there for the try.
Another offload from Tucker as well. You know, quality ball players, Kev, have the ability to make defenders leave their space. And that's what Shalom Suniula does better than anyone in this Seawolf side. He has the ability to shift across field and get the defenders to leave their space and commit to him. And that's where it opens up space. Outstanding ball player. It's just a natural talent that he's worked hard over years to refine. Brilliant, brilliant player. Brilliant family, that whole Suniula family of rugby players.
Great analysis, Dan. I love it, and one of my favorite people of all time as well. So, you know, I've had the pleasure, the sincere pleasure of playing with him for a very long time, and I love watching him still. I'm a huge fan of Shalom's, and he did start it. He got the offload. Brad Tucker with another offload, and Leynuts in the end zone there for the try and the comeback.
Stoller, big conversion here, down by 8. This would bring them back. Wow, 3 misses on the day for Brock Stoller. We'll be talking about that after 80 minutes. Uncharacteristic from the Canadian winger.
I'm pretty surprised. I'm surprised by that, Dan. But you know, even just one of those kicks going over puts them within 7 points, right? 6 down, and so you know they could easily. Now they're 2 scores away from victory. So they got 14 minutes to put it together. It's plenty of time, but they need 2 scores to do it.
That's backwards by Seattle. Backwards by Seattle.
I think they've got to get Matt
Still advantage.
Turnover. Well, what about the turnover? Veramalua, the flying Fijian, he gets the try and breaks the heart of the Seawolves faithful. They hit back with 5 of their
The
own.
ball's gone backwards by Seattle. We're open play.
Absolutely stunned, Dan. The Seattle Seawolves and the fans here. A little bit shaky off the kickoff there. Ref says play on. It was backwards by Seattle. Watch Phil Mack. He takes 3 steps back, and Nate Osberger comes in, slaps the ball down. Veramalua picks it up. It's try time. Phil needed to get rid of that ball. I don't think he felt the pressure of Nate, and Nate's super quick, so I wouldn't have expected him to, but he just flew right in there and was able to get the ball out of his hands. I think Veramalua will be happy about that one, you know, helping his team get back up, you know, 13, maybe 15 here, you know, after spending 10 minutes in the bin. It always feels good to support the team, you know, with a try like that.
Audsley, big kick. Flag stay down, not successful, 28 points to 15. And you mentioned it, Phil Mack just too long with the ball in hand here. As we see, Seattle were pleading for a knock-on right there of Sam Wuchin. And looking at that vision, they may have a case. But you've got to play the referee's whistle. He calls it back off. Now, we just missed it, but how long Phil Mack took with the ball in the hand was critical there, because that's what's allowed Augsburg to get through and dislodge it.
And heads up play by Nate as well. I mean, he saw that. He was, you know, his players
Space,
were in the way of Phil to make that pass.
They charge Enosa. Shapes to kick before he runs. Teo down the short side. Nice little kick here. He'll sit up for Hutting though. Hutting around Boyer.
No, enough feet!
He's brought down by Sylvia. Good to see Sylvia back in action.
Thanks, mate.
Now Matt goes wide, Seema, Suniula. Yosefo. A man mountain out there in the 22 jersey. Seawolves come down this near side. Ball sits up, Staller. Bounces off Teo, but the counter comes in from the Legion as the cover defence swarms across.
Off feet, free, leave, go! Thank you.
Oh, I thought he was isolated there, Seema. Does well, Lanitz. They come wide. Turner, slices, Turner! Turner, sharp as the edge of a razor blade. He goes through. What a try for the Seawolves. And this game, well, it has just opened up here in the last 5 minutes.
That's what will happen, Dan, when you have 13 playing 14, you know, different points of the game. And players are starting to get a little bit tired. The second Matt Turner touched the ball, you see a little gap. He set his player up and then cut through just like he said, sharp as a knife there. And they're going to want to hustle back, get a kick up on the board, and get back to the attacking structure that they've been putting together. It was a very, very nice sequence by Seattle to come back. And you said it, Dan, second half team. The last 20 minutes of the game is where they're most dangerous.
Well, we have a finish in this final 10 minutes, 28 points to 20. 22 points, 28. Well, that's right, Audsley with that miss. 6-point ball game. A converted try will get them home. And that try from Matt Turner has brought the biggest element to Starfire back into it, Kevin. It's the crowd. The 16th man here. They have lit up. Teo, very high on the restart. That one down, knocked forward. You can see the Seattle players. Not again, surely.
That was a close one. He tried to tap it to himself and catch it, but was unable to get it into his grasp. So Veramalua coming back, as is the rest of the two forward packs to set up a scrum.
Change.
We see another sub coming in here, taking the big number 8, Manahara out. He's bloody and battered. probably didn't want to come off the field at that point in the game, but they could probably use a little bit of extra juice as well in the legs. Those forwards have been grinding the whole forward pack.
You were too long down as well.
Both
We caused
sides.
instability then. Let's get this right. Okay.
Big scrum coming up. Metcha. You see him in your picture.
Crouch.
Yeah, he must have come back on the field.
I think Hayden's being, as you know, kept front row a little different to the other positions. You need a qualified front rower for the scrum, so that's how Metcha is allowed back on the field. Yosefo, built like a front rower, moves like a winger. Oh, off the feet. Penalty, kickable penalty, 2 here for the Legion.
14-20 off feet, no effort.
So what the ref's calling there, Dan, right, is the players from Seattle going off their feet. You have to play rugby on your feet. So as they go to attempt to ruck the San Diego players away, they lose their footing, fall down, and that's an instant penalty. Easy call for the ref. And we're going to just take a look at the replay. Big run by Joey. Takes on 2, 3 tacklers, and boom, those players are coming in hot. Aladdin Shermer and the wing there, Brock, both coming in, trying to take that player out with intensity, but you have to be controlled as well. And so they lost their feet, penalty to San Diego. Let's see if Dylan can take this one, which is about 7 or 8 meters closer than the last one. Pretty dead on. See if he can slot it to get his team up by 9.
Well, you see the importance of Joe Peterson. Audsley has missed both his attempts so far this afternoon. None bigger than this one, though. They'll forgive him if he can slice the posts. Another miss from Audsley. In the crowd, they let him know it as well.
They like to yell here in Seattle, you know, when the kicker's going, getting ready for their kick. And so a little atypical of the rugby around the world, but it's very typical for Seattle fans in football, you know, whether it's football, basketball, hockey, rugby, they're going to be loud.
I tell you, Kev, once they get Michael Phelps behind a curtain like ASU did for a free throw, then we know we've hit the pinnacle.
I don't know anything about that, Dan, but
you don't?
No.
The curtain, it's at Arizona State University, the basketball, and they had a game where Michael Phelps was in a Speedo with all his gold medals behind the curtain. They pull back, and whenever the other team tries to shoot a free throw, they try to distract, and that was one of their best ones. There's Audsley. He takes this one up into Seattle's half. Ordsberger comes down this blind side. Stanfill drops that big concrete shoulder of his. Picks up a few yards as well. Wuching. He would have wanted a big performance here today. Wuching coming back to his hometown.
Ball clear now.
Wow.
Thank you.
He spent a lot of time here. Went to university down the road.
That's right. Family.
Home away from home, we'll put it that way.
Yep.
Kearns, short to Audsley. Mitchell.
First man.
Nothing needed overly drastic here from the Legion. Just need to be patient. Now Teo. And one thing to keep an eye on too, Kev, that bonus point is just hovering around for both sides. One more try would give that to the Legion. I'm sure they'll take the win over the bonus point try though, but they find themselves out of the top 4 on the back of bonus points.
Go there, Lou.
And they're not thinking about that right now,
second man.
I'm sure the coaches are.
Another run from Mitchell.
Look! Hands in the ruck advantage.
That's great play from Augsburg there. He milked that to perfection. Veramalua. Oh, Rusalika, Veramalua. We're back outside Suva, 1993. Rusalika versus Veramalua. Oh, but Veramalua may get the last laugh. He tramples over Seema up towards the 10-meter line.
Over.
Now, Duplessis. I haven't seen much of JP Duplessis today. That was a great run. Mitchell.
Advantage over now.
Runs into the shell. Advantage is over on the penalty though. Anosa, Audsley, pressure, throws it over the sideline. Well, it's been a tough second half for the outside centre for the Legion.
That's a tough deal there, Dan, for San Diego, because here they're battling. They've got the penalty. They could have easily just knocked it on, taken the penalty, and gotten their 3 points, but they kept playing and they advanced, got 23, 24 meters there. Calls advantage over, and then two phases later turn the ball over. So unfortunate for San Diego. Seattle's taking a deep sigh of relief. They need to play a little bit of a territory game. With only 5 minutes left, it's going to be really tough for them to go 80, but they could surprise us pretty easily. They have the players to do it.
Yeah, fresh Matt Turner. He scores 1 try.
Don't change.
The Seawolves moving this ball inch by inch, metre by metre down the field. As Mack, he calls in the reinforcements, and they continue to roll.
Middle.
Oh, what a turnover for the Legion. Audsley throws a dummy piece one. Audsley still going, needs some support. Looks for Boyer. Forward pass from Audsley. Wow. Did he break a mirror this morning? Did he walk under a ladder?
You just can't change your mind, but the person who came through the middle was completely fine.
Okay. Yeah, it was unlucky there. It looked like it was a good pass, but we have a different angle over here, Dan, and so ref sees it. He's got a good alignment.
Scrum.
Calling forward pass back to Seattle. Seattle surprisingly brought in 2 or 3 of their back line on that maul off the line out when you're 80 meters away. It was quite surprising. Maybe they couldn't get the ball back out of that maul, and so they needed to just go forward at that point. And San Diego did a really good job just wrapping that ball up, and you saw it. The ball pops out, and it's their ball. So the defense of San Diego doing really well on the maul of Seattle.
Big scrum. First time today we see one of these packs start to go backwards, and it is the Legion. They get the penalty. This will give them a chance to pick up some territory here.
16 to the knee. Angle.
The crowd are absolutely loving it, Dan. They know what's on the line right now. It's a huge game for both teams. San Diego has to win this game. They really need a road victory. Seattle, same thing. They're both going to switch here in the top 4 standings. Whoever wins, especially if San Diego win here, they're going to switch. So Seattle trying to stay up in the top 4. It's home. They haven't lost this season at home, and they really want this.
Time off. Right forward change.
Some changes coming out here for the Legion. Here's Stanfield. He's done for the day. Mahoney comes on fresh legs. And Kev, you have to think the advantage of the scrum. Metcher, he gets substituted off. Him and Paddy Ryan were kind of counterbalancing, both doing so well. Metcher gets a break. Hayden picks up an injury. Metcher gets to come in, gets a little spell. He's been the difference at the set piece. That ball spills out. Anosa.
Scrum advantage.
Advantage here for the knock on. They'll slow things down. First with Mitchell.
With just a couple minutes left, Dan, they're going to look to keep the ball the rest of the game.
Scrum advantage over.
Well, it's a big ask. A minute and a half. We saw in the game last night, New Orleans were unable to do that. They played way too quickly. Gave the ball back to Glendale at the death to steal that win.
Seattle has to be extremely patient on defense. They give away a penalty, it's pretty much the end of the game.
Give time, please, lads.
They have to wait for San Diego to make the mistake. And San Diego is playing this very, very smart. Waiting for 2 to 3 guys to be behind the ball carrier, so they're quick to clear over.
This would be the first loss the Seawolves have suffered at home. They're not ready to put that one in the record book just yet. Legion, phase after phase here.
Back.
And you can see Augsburger
Back foot now.
just marshalling. He'll be asking referee Williams at every breakdown, how long, sir? How much longer, sir? Waiting for that magic response.
Let go,
it's over.
And Seattle's doing a pretty good job. They're just making their tackles. They need to find the right timing to get over that ball and get a turnover.
Use it!
Sometimes you can give a guy extra 2 or 3 meters on the tackle so that he gets away from his players so you can cause a turnover. It might be something they need to do.
No, back.
Augsburger isolated, needs some support, comes quickly.
And they're not running too far away from their team.
Thank you.
That one goes backward. Gaffney does well. Holds his feet for a few extra seconds. Venosa over the sideline. We look at referee Williams. There's the whistle. The Legion have come on the road and caused the upset. The first ever loss at Starfire for the Seawolves. What a performance from San Diego as they find themselves back in the hunt in the top 4. Well, what a game, folks. We'll take a short break. We'll return. We'll jump into the highlights from this absolute classic, plus go down to the field for our player of the match.
Rugby 100 Club. Tigers. Floor and Decor. Washington Federal. Lift. Wing down. Starfire. Fifth Avenue Law. Rugby content. Construction Company, and Glacial Cryotherapy. Thank you once again to all the law enforcement agencies helping out and attending our match tonight. Police departments from Fife, Anacortes, Auburn, and the King County Sheriff's Office, along with the Seattle Police Department's K-9 Jazzy. And also a very special thank you to all of our guests with Special Olympics Washington. The next 2 Seawolves matches are on the road. Tune in to Root Sports as the Seawolves play Utah on April 5th at 6 p.m. After that, the Seawolves head to Houston April 12th. You can find that match on CBS Sports at 3:30 p.m. Join us right back here Sunday, April 21st for Youth Night as the NOLA Gold travel north, taking on your Seattle Seawolves. Bring out the kids for some early fun and prizes in the first ever Seawolves Egg Hunt. Catch all the action and score your tickets now at SeattleSeawolves.com.
Major League Rugby is brought to you by Falcon West Insurance Brokers, the official insurance brokers of the San Diego Legion, for all your auto, business, or home insurance needs. San Diego Sports Medicine and Family Health Center, providing the highest quality of care for families and athletes of all levels. And Nelson Securities, chart your path towards long-term financial success with Nelson Securities. Find out how at nelsonsecurities.com. Welcome back to Starfire, folks. What an absolute and thrilling game. 28 points to 22. The Legion have gone on the road and caused the upset. They've got the win over the home side of Seattle Seawolves here tonight. Huge win in the complexity of the season for San Diego. We're going to go down onto the field and talk to this man. Matt Turner made a big difference when he got on the field, scored a great try that got the Seawolves within a whisker of getting the win here today, Kev.
He really injected some pace on in the second half, scoring that try to get them back in.
Let's go down to Jessamine McIntyre, who's joined by Matt Turner.
Thanks, guys, and thank you for your time, Matt. Obviously a heartbreaker of a loss at home, the first one this year in Seattle, but there were some positives to take out of that one. What did you learn about your team today?
I think we showed fights again. Unfortunately, we made a few mistakes at the end of the game that, could have swayed the result. But, we're showing that fight that we still got it. It's just nice to play in a bit of sun up in Seattle.
You had a try where it looked like lightning out there. You kind of came out of nowhere. You scored extremely quickly. You haven't been on the pitch in about 3 weeks. What did it feel like to get back out there?
Oh, it's always nice to get out there. Going through a week of training and not getting an opportunity to play really builds up energy in the tank, and I think I showed it out there when I got the ball.
And this crowd, obviously a huge impact on the game. didn't get the win today, but they show up in droves. Actually, this is the largest crowd that you've had here at Starfire for a match. Tell me what they mean to you.
I mean, they're the heart and soul of our team. You know, we really get up with them. You know, them chanting at us and shouting at us. You know, when we're behind and when we're ahead, it's all positive for us and it fuels us. And it showed there in glimpses today.
Thank you so much for your time and good luck next week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll send it back to you guys, Dan and Kevin.
Good performance from Turner there and the Seawolves. They just didn't get it done on the day. San Diego, they'll go home with, they'll go home with 4 points for that win. A bonus point for the Seawolves, staying within 7. Well, that wraps things up from Seattle, folks. For Kevin Swirin and Jasmine McIntyre, I'm Dan Power, saying good night, goodbye, until next time.